We're Robin and Steve. In the last episode, we'd sailed 800 nautical miles from Opua to Minerva Reef, where we had hoped to relax for days. But instead, we settled for 4 hours here to cook, clean, kayak and snorkel. We'd have loved a nana nap because for a week now, we have not had a full night's sleep, but kept up our rotating system of 4-hour watches. And once clear of the mid-ocean reefs, we'd continue those watches until we got to Fiji. Here's why we couldn't stop. In 2 days, this low-pressure system was going to wipe itself all over Minerva Reef. We could have sat it out here, but we chose to continue our dreamy downwind run. From Opua to Fiji, we've done about 800 of 1,200 nautical miles, with only 1 day of crappy weather. Another motivating factor is that we don't have heaps of fresh vegetables. Our boat is stuffed to the gills with food. Lucky we're not fish. These groceries are future garbage. When we shop, it's a toss-up. We want as little packaging as possible, but we don't want things to go mouldy. We count on this food to last. Plus, we've got to work with what's available wherever we are. We only had 2 little containers of squished plastic when we checked in Savu, but were still charged $112 for the compulsory garbage collection. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we left Minerva Reef, and this is my 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. watch. And as the light drained from the sky, seabirds entertained me. By now, vegetables were taking turns going off. This was the day I had to deal with the eggplant. In this case, the gimbaled stove is not being used for cooking, but for preparing, because anything left on the counter can go flying. To my left, there's some shock cord along the back of the counter for strapping in containers like salt while you're still cooking. When I put the salt away, I've got to do it quickly and lock the cupboard so that the rest of the food doesn't fly out. And it's a big uphill reach for me. Here I demonstrate the starboard tack lunge. If I just stood up, I'd topple over onto my back. This fried eggplant was for a future meal, but I'd strategically tucked away some snacks for now, because it's nearly bedtime, 10 a.m. The days rolled on, and it was blissfully uneventful. Rigging and other checks still need to be done though. Nothing broken yet. Often the bow is intermittently dumped in waves, but not today. There was enough wind for us to sail, but not enough wind to whip up the seas. Perfect. And during my 10 a.m. shift, I saw land. Fiji is big, but we were to arrive within the day, so it was time to hoist our quarantine flag, along with the Fiji courtesy flag, so that customs officials would know that we were sailing in from overseas. This was our last death on deck for this voyage. And now, dead fish, back to where you belong. Check it out. So calm we even did laundry. In 9 days at 4 hours, we've done 1,273 nautical miles. Been here before, so we knew the drill. And could even remember that an octopus lived over there. We've crossed an ocean thanks to these handy bits of cloth. Although I can pack the mainsail away, this boat's not designed for short people. So here, Steve is zipping our sail away. Our depth sounder could find the seafloor again, now that it wasn't 4 kilometres deep. And after radioing in, Fijian customs officials directed us to a mooring ball. Once secured, we were potentially too excited about our welcome to new country pancake tradition. And about getting ashore. Here I'm pumping up the kayak as Steve sets the wind chute. It's hot here, 32 degrees Celsius and 29 degrees water temperature. No need for beanies here. We're back in a city, and like all cities, this one has introduced animals. Many cats and dogs, and rats, and mongooses, which were introduced here in 1883 for the sugarcane industry. A perfect design for destruction of native fauna. It's weird what I noticed first, but Coca-Cola is pretty in your face everywhere. The ads and the rubbish. Globalization. Other things had changed since our last visit. Savu Market was being upgraded. But thankfully, the original, awesome market is still operating. One of the best markets I've ever seen. We had to get our carver now to present to villagers because we planned to be away from cities. We got spinach, fat avocados and limes, pineapples, ginger. Oh, this is for a drink for later. Pawpaws. And, hallelujah, a soursop. So we're sweaty but happy. That muggy weather brought with it a thunderstorm. We filled bowls and buckets and had a good wash. So we'd be all fresh for our city date to eat curry at Aaron's Taste of Paradise. I think about this meal maybe too much. Anyway, the sunset wasn't bad, and some very funny women were fishing near our boat on this little bamboo raft.
You smile.
Thank you. Vinaka. So the sun set to the sound of them fishing and giggling. And they weren't the only fishing neighbours that we had. This man's a great singer, and he sung and fished well into the night. My morning routine was to do silks and then go kayaking to collect whatever rubbish I could find. Council workers do a great job keeping Savu clean, but you can't expect them to swim to get the rubbish. This is a dream come true, getting to pig out on delicious, messy soursop. Oh, I've missed you, soursop. Here Steve is putting an eye in double-braided rope to replace our lazy jacks, which kind of brace our sail bag, making pulling down and stowing the sail much easier. The wharf building we're getting used is in a bit of a state of disrepair. But this is where we paid our mooring fees, and we loved the air conditioning at the Fiji Revenue and Collection Service, where we cleared customs and got our cruising permit. One more important mission, a chili pineapple snack. The perfect snack and no packaging. Life-changingly delicious.
Who's the first one?
Having gotten some more vegetables, we set off. First to Kusto Resort, well, near there, where it looked like there was a coral propagation experiment going on, with mixed results. There's definitely some nice coral, and many challenges, including crown of thorns starfish and coral bleaching. Next we sailed to Taveuni Island, where we enjoyed one last fancy thing, a pizza, with a view of our boat. There was no wind as we motored past Taveuni Island. This is where east meets west. Here we've just popped back onto the west side. The coral around Vianney Bay last time wasn't so good, so this time we tried something new. Steve kept our boat off the coral reef, always a good idea, while I went kayaking and snorkeling on Rainbow Reef. I swam back to the boat, which luckily wasn't on the reef. Thanks, Steve. And then we set off for Matangi Island. We'd been here before too, with its cosy little horseshoe bay and fun snorkeling. Apart from snorkeling here, we also love kayaking and doing a spot of goat spotting. Yet another pretty cute introduced pest animal. Let's scared them.
Not that scared, like. Meh.
We'd headed this way to be able to battle the trade winds to get to the Lao group, where we are now, and where we love it. But that's next time.